how soon do you go after a death? I can access data from the coroner filing the death certificate. Death certificates you can get right away, man. Pulling the nice thing about death certificates is death certificates show the address of the owner. It shows if there was someone present. Death certificates give you a really good for deep prospecting as well. We have some users that literally just solely focus on death certificates. They upload the death certificate to the record and stuff like that, and they just dig in. And so I think it's okay to call death certificates. I have no problem with it. I don't look at it like ambulance chasing. If I call a death certificate, I'm calling the owner to try to buy the property. And if it turns out that they tell me that that person passed away, then in that scenario, I'm transitioning and saying, okay, I totally understand. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you guys need anything? You know, I was calling about the property, but you know, is there anything else I can help you out with? Let's forget about the property for now. Do you guys need an attorney? Do you need, you know, any food? Do you need, like, I'm turning into now a human being, and then building a relationship, and then I'm going to be there for them once they are in fact ready to do a transition. Because the thing is this is why, like, I have a different opinion on this, is because I know that 70% of all deaths never go to probate. And out of that 70%, nearly 50% of them end up at some point just going to tax auction or foreclosure or something else, because no family members do anything with the property. Out of the percentage of the ones that do get filed for probate, I don't know this percentage, but they end up essentially being what am I trying to say? They end up having a loved one that already lives in the property. So you're not going to be able to close most ones that get filed probate don't actually get sold because someone still lives in the property, a spouse. I don't know the percentage of that, of how many have a spouse, but they do at some point. But yeah, and like what Paul just mentioned, the death certificates aren't available to, he sent it as a DM, I think, but there's a lot of states that don't even have death certificates publicly available. So that's why.
I was trying to cut out like infants born at death, teenagers, things that just really wouldn't equate to owning property. Or if they're young, obviously they probably still have a spouse. I was trying to get up to maybe a little bit higher in age, to where maybe it might be a point to where it was a grandfather, or, you know, a grandparents,
Yeah.
or mother. I guess maybe if they died and they were in their 30s, it could have been a mother's house, and they're, you know, eventually gonna take that house on.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I died tomorrow, Christina's probably not staying here. She's probably moving back down to Citrus, you know. So she would sell the property most likely. In fact, she'd probably sell all my properties up here, to be honest with you. I'm sure she would. I'm sure she'd just take all the cash and then go find a new husband and be like a cougar or something.
Go buy bigger.
Yeah. So yeah, I think when you look at the death certificate, if it shows an address with death certificates, you want to search out the county records and see if that in fact the person that passed away owned that property, because it'll show like last known address. They may have been renting that address, right? So you got to take the address, you got to put it at the county records, search it, see if they own it, and then you build your CSV document based off of that.
Okay.
So yeah, awesome.